Hey, good morning, fellas. It's the September 10th. It's a little after 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, I have a two-part little bit of a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about this morning. And this is directed mostly for the younger men. And the reason for this video, to be completely honest, is I'm tired of going to funerals for young men. Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Didn't mean this. It's okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, no.
We came around the corner at the same time. I said I'm tired of going to funerals for young men, and I'm going to walk at a slow pace so that I can make my point. The first thing I want to say to you young men is you have to stop blaming yourself for your situation. In my opinion, your situation, let me do a 360 real quick. Okay, it's just me and that lady's way down there. You're playing a game that's been rigged since before you were born. And it's to the point now to where I think the only way to fix it is to either have a large set of national programs that takes care of the people here in the United States at the expense of everybody outside of the United States. National programs such as rebuilding our infrastructure. That includes our water, our roads, our schools, our bridges, our power grid. Putting all of these young men to work where they can have a decent job with a decent life, with a chance at a decent retirement, and with the chance to possibly start a family if they want to. If not, then the problem I see is the game is only designed right now to have a few people be successful at the expense of the majority of people. And young men are starting to figure that out. So again, I'll tell you the topic of this video is you have to, as a young man, stop blaming yourself because you're not responsible for how fucked up the world is. The reason for that is the powers that be now want you to play a rigged game. And if all a young man has to look forward to is a video game, talking to a couple of people online he's never met, maybe looking at porn, and the fact that he knows he's just barely getting by is a recipe for revolution or civil war. There is a saying that the worst thing you can take away from a man is hope. And I think that because of the greed of certain individuals who pull the strings of power, that they aren't happy unless they are squeezing the last penny out of all of these good young men. Now, I will preface this by making a point that I believe is directly tied to the subject at hand. Again, I'll say to you again, I'm tired of going to funerals for young men. I have to go to one today. I don't have to go, but I will go. Stop blaming yourself for things that you have no control over. Again, stop blaming yourself for things you have no control over. You, as well as most everybody on planet Earth now, are playing a rigged game. And the game is not rigged for you to be successful. The game is rigged for you to barely be able to get by. And to grind. Never-ending grind. I will offer this to anybody on YouTube, anybody who happens to see this. If you're a government official or you're one of the power brokers, you have pretty much 3 options. You can either stop sending all of our money overseas to fight these never fucking ending wars. And I will preface that. How if we're in a budget deficit, what's it, $34 trillion, can we scrape together billions, hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars for a war in Ukraine? And that's one. There are another 143 conflicts, hot fighting zones going on all over the planet. My suggestion to those of you who are the power brokers and to those of you who are pulling the strings, here are your 3 options. You either can devote your time, energy, and effort to making things better here for the people in the United States. And here's a good example of just how shitty the government and the people that pull the strings are. How come we never hear about Hawaii anymore? How come you never hear about the people in Maui when we were given billions and billions of dollars away for a war we didn't start? A war we have no interest in. And a war we're not going to get involved in. I'm not fucking going to war ever again. They got their pound of flesh out of me. So, here are the options. 1, you buckle down and we start fixing the United States. Sorry about bouncing around. We fix our power grid. We fix our infrastructure. We fix our roads. We fix our water. We fix whatever they're going to do with the internet. We build and we build and we build, and we concentrate on taking care of the good young men that are here, that are willing to work, rebuilding the United States. If you decide not to do that and help all of these young men out, God help us all. Because the only other 2 options are revolution and civil war. To sugarcoat that would be an absolute, utter lie. So again, young men, I'm tired of going to funerals. I don't want you to feel like it's hopeless and there's no chance for you to become successful. But it's hard to justify saying that to you. And it's ridiculous for me to just tell you to work harder. It's fucking retarded. Go get another job. Fuck that. Anyways, coming up here to the turnaround point, I'll show you. They got the road closed, no, sidewalk closed, all of that. Anyway, so Again, circling back so I don't lose you. We are talking about stop blaming yourself. As a young man, stop blaming yourself. Stop taking accountability for something you have no control over. Here we go. Wow, that guy's whole wall got taken down. I'm going to go over here and bang on this box, which I don't have to do, but I am going to do here. I'll bang on the front of it. There it is. So, turning around, heading back. The other thing is, why am I telling you to stop blaming yourself? Well, I'm telling you to stop blaming yourself because you're playing a rigged game. When I was coming up as a sergeant in the Army, E5 sergeant in the Army, I had a wife and 2 children, and they subsidized my housing to have a family. They gave me extra money to feed and clothe my children because I decided to have a family. Was it perfect? No. Did I get by? Yes. Did I have things to look forward to? Of course I did. Promotions, building my family, working on a good job, civilian job when I got out with the possibility of retiring. But that's not the way it is now. You have young men out there busting their ass trying to get ahead. And on top of that, not everybody wants to be a social media influencer. I don't want to sell coffee. Anyways, they want to do a good job for an honest day's pay. The only problem is what they're doing to these young men. It's called boiling the frog. They put the frogs in at room temperature and slowly turn the temperature up. And how are they turning it figuratively? How are they turning the temperature up for you guys? Everything's getting a little more expensive. Gas is supposed to come down, but it's over I think it's like $3.49, $3.50, $3.49.99. So it's $3.50 a gallon of gas. How's that coming down if all the prices have fallen? How did bread increase by almost 50%? Anybody who tells you there's only 3 or 4% increase on inflation, especially for food, they're lying. And what do we just find out? What's the government doing? They're lying to us about jobs. They're lying to us about the inflation rate. They're lying to us about recession. They're lying to us about the medications they're giving. They lie to us about them. So the system's broken. And unless our government decides to invest in the young men and women in this country, you got 3 options. National programs to put these guys back to work where they have something to look forward to besides a job that pays $7.25 an hour, where they also have to have 2 side hustles just to get by. I can't even imagine if you were a young family and you have to pay health care and you have to pay for babysitting because you both have to work. It's never ending cease of... Anyways. So, again, to those of you in the government and those of you that are watching this, things have to change. All those billions of dollars we seem to find at the drop of a hat for a country in Middle Europe that's getting their ass kicked right now. They're losing. They're losing the war to the Russians, which was only a matter of time anyways. But in the meantime, the people who love war, the hawks in the government that love war, they're lining their pockets. And I can't tell you how many newly minted multimillionaires are now running around in the government of the Ukraine. It's just the system's corrupt. It's designed for you to give everything you've got and get nothing in return. So, They either come up with some national programs to fix the United States, and I mean a national program that actually works, not cronyism or nepotism where there's one contract given out to your friend you play golf with. Real change, real improvements to the United States. There are. I was shocked yesterday when I went and spoke to the family, and this guy had a ton of friends, but they were all in the same boat. And I'm hearing this more and more after practice when they want to talk to me about things that are going on in the parking lot. They want to know why. Why should I try? Why should I give a shit? Why shouldn't we tear it all down and start over? I'm telling you, tired of going to funerals. I'm tired of seeing young men, or men in general, blamed for shit they don't have any control over. You can't even find a decent woman nowadays. She's more worried about your clout or your standing than trying to build a life with you. They've absolutely replaced us as men. So, you're not to blame for that, young men. That's the system. And I think the system's at the breaking point. But we always seem to be able to find billions of dollars for war. That light's messing me up. Here, I'll put it over here. Young men aren't looking for it to be easy for them. They're not looking to be trust fund babies. They want to work. They want to prove themselves. But how can they when they're playing a rigged game? And then you blame them for everything. You blame these young men. They're too masculine if they decide to stand up for themselves. They're too effeminate if they fold up. Anyways, there's just no way for them to win. And you got like 1 to 3% of guys running around here making all kinds of money. But a lot of the guys that you see who are influencers are multi-level marketing guys. You don't see anybody that's building a company. If they're building a company, it's a multi-level marketing company. It's a pyramid scheme, basically. Or they want you to like and subscribe to their channel. Then, so that they don't have to get a job, you got to become a member. And then, of course, if you want to buy me a coffee, or you want to buy me something, you know, because I sit here with the phone in my hand and tell you that things are going to work out for you if you follow my secret advice. It's absolute fucking bullshit. And young men, it's not your fault. The game's rigged against us. Well, it's rigged against you now. I played a very different game. I can tell you this. That light at the end of the tunnel is not a train coming the other way, but I hear a lot of things. Why should I give a shit? Why should I care about society or culture that doesn't give a shit about me? And you know who makes changes? Young men make changes. If young men decide that they've had enough, we only got 2 other options: revolution or civil war. I don't want to see either one of those. And I've seen both of them in several countries over the planet. 99% of the United States has no idea what a war involves. All the killing, the untold people that are just erased. So, last time, and then I'll let you guys go. And I'm going to stop so I can talk to you. Love you guys, but you're getting screwed. And they want you to blame yourself, like you're not working hard enough. Get a second job. Do this and that. It's absolute fucking bullshit. I think The best advice I could give you before I end this conversation is you have to start taking care of yourself. 3 phases. Physically, push-ups are free, sit-ups are free, leg lifts are free, calisthenics are free. You don't have to buy. You find you a pair of pants and you cut them off and make them into shorts. Get you a decent pair of shoes and go for a walk. You don't have to run and jar your joints. The other thing is, if you can, try to eat 1 meal a day. But that meal needs to be a good meal. Whole foods. Eat an apple. Try to have a good piece of protein. And the other one is your mental health. I'm hoping what everybody's predicting doesn't come. But if it does, you need to be in shape and you need to be prepared to take care of yourself. And that means you have to be able to defend yourself and the people that you love. Love you guys. Never going to ask you for anything. You don't owe me anything. I don't care if you like or subscribe. I'm going to keep doing these videos, all right? Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, you have to take care of yourselves. You're literally the prize. And they don't want you to know it. And that's why they rigged the game. All right? Like a fart in a G-string. From West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.